Jin goes to Italy, Jungkook cries because of this. Shocking facts revealed. A surprising decision came from the Korean entertainment world. Jin suddenly departed for Italy to attend a major event with a famous fashion house, while Jungkook was seen shedding tears, sparking widespread speculation among fans. What actually happened behind the scenes of this event that made ARMYs go wild? Is Jungkook's crying directly related to Jin's move, or are there other facts that have been unknown to the public? That question is now the main focus. News of Jin's departure to Italy initially sounded like a normal professional activity. He was said to be attending an exclusive invitation from Gucci, a global brand that has often collaborated with top stars. However, that moment suddenly became the center of attention due to the emergence of a recording showing Jungkook looking emotional, even unable to hold back tears when asked about Jin. The video spread widely on social media, triggering a wave of discussions, analyses, and fierce debates among ARMYs and the public. It is undeniable that Jin and Jungkook have a close relationship, both as groupmates and as individuals. Jin, who is now treading a different path, while Jungkook is still trying to balance his career, raises a big question. Is Jin's decision to fly to Italy part of an individual strategy, or a sign of a major change in the group's dynamics that have been kept secret? This fact makes the public wonder, why does Jungkook look so devastated if the departure is just a normal work agenda? Some entertainment analysts assess that Jungkook's crying may be a reflection of the emotional pressure he feels. As a member who has been known to be a perfectionist and full of dedication, Jungkook is believed to feel a deep void seeing Jin carry out an important agenda alone abroad. Fans interpret the tears not just as a spontaneous expression, but as a sign that there is something bigger going on behind the scenes. Local media also began to explore various possibilities. One issue that emerged was that Jin's departure to Italy was not just a fashion invitation, but also part of more serious talks regarding international collaboration. If true, this has the potential to significantly change the direction of Jin's career and indirectly affect the balance within the group. Meanwhile, Jungkook, who is known to be very close to Jin, certainly feels the emotional impact more than other members. Not a few also argue that Jungkook's crying is just a form of emotional honesty. On several occasions, Jungkook has often expressed how valuable their togetherness is as a team. Jin's presence, which is now distant due to professional commitments abroad, could create a temporary sense of loss that is difficult to hide. This fact is further reinforced by circulating interview snippets, where Jungkook stated, "Sometimes we don't know when we will really be together again like before." However, the big question that remains unanswered is Jin's move a personal decision or a strategy that has been jointly approved by management? Until now, there has been no official statement from the agency. The absence of clarification actually makes this issue even wilder, even triggering speculation that there are internal dynamics that are deliberately covered up. ARMYs are divided between those who support Jin's move as a form of career development and those who are worried about the future of the group's togetherness. More surprisingly, several sources within the entertainment industry mentioned that Jin's decision to go to Italy was actually planned long ago, but was deliberately not announced publicly. This allegation makes many parties speculate that Jungkook's crying could be born from disappointment for not being fully involved in the process. Although the truth is still vague, the debate about transparency in the K-pop entertainment world has resurfaced. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: Jungkook's reaction has shown the human side of a superstar. Behind the glittering stage and camera spotlights, there are deep emotional connections between group members. Jungkook's tears are not just a sign of personal sadness, but also a signal to the public that their togetherness has a greater meaning than just professional work. And this is precisely what makes ARMYs feel emotionally connected, as if they are feeling the same turmoil. Now, the public's eyes are on the next development. Will Jin return with big news from Italy? Or will his move open a new chapter that will change their journey forever? Meanwhile, Jungkook's tears become a symbol of the uncertainty that envelopes the group's future. Shocking facts have indeed been revealed, not only about Jin leaving for Italy, but also about how fragile emotional bonds are when faced with major changes. With all the dynamics that occur, the public is invited to reflect again. Is this event just part of a promotional strategy, or does it really describe the real emotional turmoil experienced by world stars? The definite answer may not be available now, but one thing is clear. This event has opened the eyes of many people about another side of the entertainment industry that is rarely seen. Jungkook's emotional reaction to Jin's departure to Italy has created a huge wave in the public sphere. But behind all the commotion, a much more serious question arises. Did this event really happen as depicted, or is this just a narrative exaggerated by the media and content creators to grab attention? Aren't we as viewers often trapped in emotions without taking the time to consider whether the information has a strong factual basis? Let's explore further. Information about Jin flying to Italy did appear on various platforms, from TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, to entertainment media portals. Short videos showing Jungkook crying also spread very quickly. However, was the video really taken in the context of Jin's departure? Or did the snippet come from a different moment that was deliberately combined with a certain narrative? Have we ever considered the possibility that the dramatic impression arises because of media framing, not reality? Phenomena like this are not new in the digital age. Social media often becomes a space where facts mix with opinions, even visual manipulation. The question is, are armies and the general public skeptical enough to filter information before believing it? Do we really know why Jungkook cried, or are we just consuming a narrative that has been directed to appear sensational? Furthermore, let's look at the motivation behind this news. Isn't it interesting to ask, who benefits the most from the news of Jin going to Italy and Jungkook crying? Is it the agency, which can get global attention? Is it the entertainment media, which earns clicks and views from bombastic titles? Or is it the content creators who reap engagement through emotional video snippets? If that's the case, can this event still be called purely a fact, or just an entertainment industry strategy wrapped in dramatization? We also need to think about the psychological impact of this kind of news. Is it really healthy for the public, especially armies, to be constantly bombarded with emotional news whose truth is not clear? Shouldn't we restrain ourselves, take a break, and wait for official clarification rather than getting caught up in a narrative that might be fake? Are we aware that the sadness, sympathy, even anger that we feel could just be the result of opinion engineering that is deliberately spread? In this context, it is important for us to highlight the role of the media again. Why is news with a clickbait style more quickly believed than official clarification? Does this reflect the public's weakness in distinguishing real information from hoaxes? Or does it show how strong the influence of the entertainment industry is in shaping mass perception? Look at how the army dynamics are divided. Some immediately believe, some are skeptical, some reject it outright. The question is, which group is actually wiser? Is it better to believe completely because it is driven by love for idols, or to restrain oneself while waiting for evidence? Is a critical attitude considered to doubt loyalty, even though that is actually a healthier form of love? We all know that in the age of social media algorithms, emotion is a commodity.